What do you think are going to be the main differences? He said, 10 years from now, you'll go to present. But where do you see music going?
There are many, shall we say, the students of the modernists. There is a clear continuity from the total serialist school, say. And there are many fusion and side projects, and there is this one extra area which I feel is a bit different, and the one that excites me. So I would expect in 10, 20 years that will have more character. It'll be more differentiated from the more typical fusion approach, and it will have a responsive audience. Because in my experience, I've seen audiences who aren't familiar with new music but respond to what I believe is the composer's input from techno or rock or jazz or any influence that the composer would share with the audience. I find the audience responds to that. So I would expect that would make itself more clearly defined in the years to come.
In terms of 10 years' time, I would like to be able to turn around to somebody that I don't know. And if they were the product of the Irish environment, musical environment, they would know who Stravinsky is. They would know who Ligeti is, possibly, but they would at least have gone to one concert or two concerts a year, and they would not have any necessarily strong bias to new music. I think they would just be more aware of what composers are and what we do and how much music can fill people's lives. And so I think there's a larger umbrella of work to be done. This is just, I guess, in Ireland, but not so much everywhere else, but just generally music more aware.
I think people really need to value it more. I mean, it's because we're getting into this technology age and everything is like television and media, and like it's so fast, and we've passed the age of there being a piano in the room and people play out of tune from the latest whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
In a way, it's great because over the last 100 years or whatever, music has developed so much. You know what I mean? This, even apart from the technology side of it, but just the compositions are getting more and more interesting, in my opinion. But just this business of having this kind of pop music culture or something that's so it's almost like it's got a function, and the function seems to be to give you this hit of like harmony or hit of like dance music. I just don't get it. I've never been a big dancer, and I've never been really interested in that sort of stuff. And I don't see the fascination. And unfortunately, I think it seems to me that everyone wants things more and more fast. So maybe we have a big turnaround and we all become, like start living in caves again or whatever, or grass huts, and then we listen to gramophones or whatever.
I think you are talking about the mass.
Well, yeah, because we need an audience, and those people are.
I think what you're not taking into account is the growing number of people who are looking for something different, looking for experimental, anything alternative. And I have experienced this in Dublin and in York, just being surrounded by students, by artists who won't necessarily know where the most interesting, the most new hip thing is happening. And so I'll be able to tell, say, my friends in Dublin that they mightn't be into this big modernist orchestra playing in the Helix one night, but they're going to love the Ligeti piano etudes the other night, and you don't need a music degree to get into these, And likewise in York, I've got lots of friends, say, on the DJ or the dance or rock circuit, who would love to know when the next gamelan concert with theatre is happening, and plenty in the music department who want to know where the best drum and bass nights are and things like that. So there's a hugely growing number of people who are actively looking for what is different, not just the traditional idea of new music, and certainly not the traditional idea of any other genre, but the gigs that are doing the most new and exciting things.
The fact that we're able to get so quickly hold of whatever music we want these days is obviously changing our listening habits, and in a way, I wondered, do you think that the old division people used to make between highbrow music, so-called serious music, and popular music, lowbrow music, is that a distinction that's meaningful anymore in this age, where we can listen to anything we want to all the time on our home computer? I mean, is there still such a thing as highbrow and lowbrow, do you feel? Is it any reality for you people?
I think it's difficult. I think it's difficult to find what might be conceived as highbrow music sometimes, and or I think that there's such a, it's kind of like, because there's so much out there, and you can download so much, or you can, and you, like I find I've got this online thing where you can download, 70 tracks a month, so I download and get all my money's worth, but it's very difficult to listen to all that music, and it's very difficult to really be able to find out what you're really interested in. I think this is really difficult with the fact that people are very much genreless now. It's like, I don't like myself, I don't want to be pigeonholed as jazz musician, I don't want to be pigeonholed as this, nobody wants to be pigeonholed, but at the same time, if you want to appeal to someone, you need to be able to tell them what you do, And it was interesting, this is our interview topic when I went for my PhD interview. It's like, how do you describe your own music? And it's very difficult for composers, I think, to put themselves in a box. And then if they don't have a box, then no one can go, oh, I like that box. You know what I mean? So in a way, I think it's very, very, very difficult.
Well, I suppose that while the musical side of it is advancing very quickly, the composers and their influences, and to those making the music and those well-informed listening to it, there may be little divisions of genre, and it may not be important to them, and they may place it in different places. But one thing that's changing a lot slower than that is the culture attached to it, because the majority of people would still put on their Sunday best when they go to the opera or the concert hall, and that's particularly funny to see in York, where the concert hall is in the music department, so the best dressed gent might be next to the most raggedy looking hippie student. So there's a large cultural stigma around concert culture and high art and the division that will be a lot slower to change. So I think we're in one of those middle grounds now where to some it may be unimportant if they're at all, and to others it'll take a while to get used to the idea.
Yeah. Donal, what's your take on that? Do you think the genres are still with us, or are we kind of getting rid of genre identification?
No, I think the whole argument of genre is a high art argument. I don't think DJs will be talking about, I wonder how lowbrow, or if I take this Messiaen snippet, will I gain credibility among composers? We're looking down on that argument, we're not looking at it at a level playing field. And the thing about it is the DJs use that Messiaen clip and it sounds good and it goes into the piece. That's it, they don't think about it. It works.